The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
Blowing out of the backfield, exploding down the sideline.
This is Hangin' with the Boys, presented by Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Now, your hosts, Nate Newton, Kurt Daniels, Jesse Holley, and Shannon Gross.
Welcome Thursday to Hanging with the Boys. You're looking live at Tostitos Championship Plaza outside Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, Texas, where it is 69 degrees. Feels like 69. The high today is 83. The low tonight is, depending on what you look, if you look on Nate's phone, it's 63. If you look on my phone, it's 69.
You got that iPhone 8. I'm up to date.
Your phone.
You need to update, bro.
Your
you need to
phone
go
is
ahead.
a nasty phone.
Yeah.
Your phone knows you.
What's the weather? 69.
Yeah.
Not the phone.
What's the weather? 5'9". What's the weight? 110.
Stop.
You 110 pounds?
No, I'm
Oh.
like 160.
69.
Oh, 69.
69.
Well, 69, 69, 61. Oh, what number we want to give you?
I wish I could hold this. Hold on. Wow, it's the same.
No, it ain't the
We
same.
got the same head size.
There's no way you wear the same
That's
hat.
Shannon. He's Nate. This is Kurt. I'm Jesse. Together we make Hanging with the Boys, the sports talk equivalent of Braille. People feel us. When
Come
we
on, Brandon
speak.
Cook. I want to feel you.
How are y'all doing?
This segment is brought to you by Wingstop.
I want
The
to
show, the segment, the show, everything we do here is brought to you by Wingstop, where flavor gets its
Wait! Brandon Cook, I want to feel you.
Wings. That's a weird statement.
That is a very weird statement.
Weird statement.
Hey, y'all are not gonna knock me off target today.
Oh.
Brandon Cook.
The size 15s, you want to...
This is going into our 6th week, right?
Yeah. Week 6.
And every week I listen to the shows. I got that from Jesse. Jesse don't listen to every show, but I do.
I love
Every
that Nick
game,
Shot show. That's a good
every game, somebody has picked Brandon Cook to go off. This is Brandon Cook's game.
We haven't said that a lot. That is
I'm
big.
like, and
That
I'm
is
starting to say,
definitely
you
big.
know what, y'all? What if it?
What if we stop picking it?
Yeah,
If we
yeah.
stop saying
it may go off.
It may go off.
Troy Aikman said on his little hit today on the radio that he thinks Cooks is the best route runner on the team.
He is.
So why ain't he getting the ball?
We have so many questions.
So someone asked me that today,
That you feel.
that I feel like they asked me.
Is he in that bag? Oh,
yeah,
never mind.
he's in his bag.
They asked me.
Oh, is Cook's in that bag?
They asked me. Where you at? Where you
Is
at?
Cook's game in that bag?
They asked me what was going on with the receivers, and I said we talked about it on the show, and it's like, are they not getting separation? Are they? And it's like, we it's a little bit of everything, right? Like,
I ain't never known Jesse to be politically correct. I mean, when he went with a little bit of everything, I'm like, really, Jess? You can't be more directed.
I tweeted out this morning, like, the more I watch film, the more I did really realize with these receivers, boy,
what is it, Jess?
they are bad at like line of scrimmage. They're not winning at the line of scrimmage, and they're not winning at the top of the route.
So it's a lot, maybe a lot of.
And when you look
Receivers.
at, like, here's what I do know about the receiver position. Now, people can say whatever they want. They can say I'm only 6 catches in. They can say I only had 1 play. But just remember, if you parted your lips at any point in time in my career and cheer for me, you're not better than me.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
now that I got that off my chest, we can move
Jesse
forward.
gonna let you know that too.
I'm just gonna let you know.
I'm
just gonna let you. At one point in time in my life, I was considered one of the best players in the entire world. Didn't last long, but
We're gonna race, by the way,
there was a moment in time.
before the end of the season.
There was a moment in time where I was.
Okay.
And if you can never say that about your history of your career,
Nope, I can't. Kurt, can you?
No.
so I say all that to say, the when you go, no. When you're
going.
playing wide receiver, I don't care what scheme you're in. I don't care what offense you are in. I don't care what quarterback you have. If they are playing man to man, if they are playing one-on-one, I don't care what the route is. Win. There is nothing that, like, man. And there's been games where this team has been getting. The Niners played more man against the Cowboys last week, and I'm bringing up the Niners game. They played more man last week than they had played the entire season. A large majority of what they played was man to man.
Did they see something that made them say we can cover you guys up?
Yeah, first of all, they got up in points, and then they said we're gonna just keep challenging y'all until somebody can beat us.
Yeah, they saw they couldn't get separation.
They couldn't get separation. They said so until you get separation. I told you they played the percentages. They said, okay, you get the one to Turpin, that's fine. We get the other interceptions. We'll give you that one, but we'll get the rest of them. And the Cowboys pass catchers routinely could not create separation at the line of scrimmage, could not create separation at the top of the routes. So if that's the case, this is where the finger gets pointed at everybody, because you're saying, well, why Dak isn't good? Well, I can tell you from a quarterback receiver relationship, he much rather throw the guys that are open. Makes him feel a lot more comfortable to throw the guys who are open. And the more open you get, the more comfortable he is throwing the ball to you. And vice versa.
Is that something they can fix, or is that just that's a physical talent thing and it is what it is?
I look at guys like Michael Gallup has never been, even in his healthy days, he was never been a guy who was a route runner. He's never been a guy who has been able to, we talked about Michael Gallup, his strengths being the tough 50-50 catches. Well, you know why it's always a tough 50-50 catches? He doesn't create separations. Now, he's good at going up and making the tough catches, but it's because he doesn't create the separation. My biggest disappointment has been CD. I've raved about CD coming out of training camp. Thought this was the year he was going to be talked about, and there's still a long season left, that he was going to be talked about amongst the $30 million dude you talked about the other day. Mm-hmm. And there's been a disappointment in the fact that he isn't running routes as good as he's run routes before. He isn't getting off the line of scrimmage. He had a play last week, where he ran the slant where he comes off. He has this hop that he's come off the line of scrimmage with that I absolutely makes me want to throw up. It does.
And this, even with a tackle or a guard, you never want your feet, especially both of them, to be out of the ground, because where are you going?
Exactly. And so he gets up on the DB, and the DB, at no point in time did the DB ever feel threatened that he was going to run by him. So you get to a point when you pause it, CD is parallel, like 2 feet like this, and the DB looking at him like this. So when you break, he break. And then you wonder why it's a contested catch. You wonder why it's tipped and knocked up in the air and intercepted. So it's like, you're doing things now as a receiver that doesn't give you the opportunity to be successful. You don't challenge the DBs. You don't make them feel threatened. You don't make them feel like you're doing something other than what you're actually doing. Then you couple that into the predictability at sometimes, like you heard Fred Warner say. We know when they get in these formations, they like to do crosses and slants. So already in my mind, I'm thinking, here comes a shallow cross or here comes a slant. I'm going to sit on those and react to everything else. So when you do exactly what I think that you're going to do, I'm on top of it. And when you give me nothing else, when you threaten me nowhere else, Michael Gallup, same thing. He runs up, runs right into the guy, and now you're trying to get back across his face. Well, he's already beaten you to the spot. This is the problem that you're seeing with the lack of separation. Now, how can we help that? The Kevontae Turpin situation. And I know I'm getting into the crux of things, but what happened? You motion Kevontae Turpin, you motion him across the formation. What happens now? The guy who was following him now has to play off or pass it over. Now I've created separation naturally off of the motion. Because anytime a guy goes in motion, you're always going to play a step behind him, right? Very often do you get a chance to him go in motion and then you able to get back on top of him to set the defense. You're always going to play a step behind him. And because you're coming behind the offensive lineman, the offensive linemen are almost a yard off of defensive linemen are almost a yard off the ball. Their body width bent over is another yard, so you're starting 2 or 3 yards already. I've already created 2 or 3 yards of separation already, just from my motion and you having to go behind a defensive lineman and sift through the linebackers and all that. I've created the separation that I'm looking for. We don't do that often enough to give us an advantage in that space. Yeah. So that's where the finger gets pointed towards the OC and saying, if you're looking at the stats, like you said you did, Freaky Mike, you talked about this team being a team that's diving into the analytics. You hired a guy, you just hired a guy this offseason. Forget the guy's name, but he came over as this renowned analytics dude, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if you have a guy in-house that's giving you I'm assuming that there's an analytic sheet that he's giving to you each week about what works, what doesn't work, and yet you go into these games and saying, well, my receivers are getting 2.3 yards separation, 2.7 yards. If that's what's happening and they're showing you that, well, now I have to do as a coach is, how can I free these guys up if they're struggling to free themselves up? That's where you have to get creative in your sets, your motions, your bunches, however you want to do it. Again, I've said this 100 million times. Steal, not Steele, steal, like Terrence Steele. No, I'm talking about like kleptomaniac, like be a thief. I'm talking about Steal, yes, steal. I'm talking about that type of steal. Turn on the film. It is littered across the National Football League of ways you can set your offense up and still be within the scheme that you want to run. It doesn't have to take you away from what you want to run. Just you now have to be able to get outside of yourself, humble yourself a little bit and say, you know what? My offense needs a little bit of razzle-dazzle. It needs a little bit of sasson.
You know, one thing I've noticed in my tenure around the league,
what's that?
I don't know if I've ever seen a coach do what you just said. Admit that there's a problem and change things midstream.
Oh, they admit it.
He did. They doing it this week.
They
think so?
You know what they say when they admit it, that there's a problem?
What?
We need to execute better. That's code word for we got a problem. It ain't working. We just got to execute better. Execute what? Like that's the code word for.
But I mean, I guess what I'm saying is, and it's because I've been around here maybe and not looked around the league, but it seems like we've had this conversation where everybody knew what was wrong and everybody was talking about it and no changes were being made. And it was almost like, because you're talking about it so much, I'm going to make it a point to keep doing what I'm doing because then it proves you right.
Right.
I don't think that's going to go this week.
You think they're going to mix it up?
I think we're going to see a touch of what was old, what works for Dak, what works for – I think we'll see a touch of it. I think he'll still keep his base offense, but I think a touch – the only thing went wrong with this team – it's only one thing that went wrong with this team.
They faced the 49ers.
The Niners.
You know what? At least one thing about our show, unlike other shows, we know the reality of it. They faced the 49ers, and that one word that has been hunting them, 3 years ago when we first started this run, physicalness. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing. If our offensive line play better, we're not discussing this. I'm just being straight up. If our offensive line would have played better, we wouldn't be talking like this.
You know what we'd be talking about?
40-24.
Me standing on the table going, that was a good game. I'll take that moral victory. And you guys going, no, they lost the game. That's what we'd be talking about.
I'm telling you, fellas, every time the Cowboys lose, one thing is prevalent. That's the other team's offensive line. Every time we have lost the game, the 4 or 5 we lost last year, the 4 or 5 we lost the year before, the other team's offensive line has just came in and mauled us. Brodesser said it was the outside run. I'll say it was still the inside. But the bottom line is the other team's offensive line set the tempo of the game. If our offensive line would have set the tempo of this game, I'm not saying we'd have won, but we'll be looking at this in a different way. We'll be looking at this in a different way, man. I'm telling you now, I've given Coach Solari all the love. You can give an offensive line coach, but I don't think they met his energy. Because he's a ball of fire. He's energetic. He's ready to coach. He's ready to try to solve your problems. But it's hard to solve a physical problem. It's hard to solve that problem, man.
All right, let's take our first break. When we come back, we talked about Micah Parsons' thoughts on the shirt. Another Cowboy spoke up yesterday, and
the real leader of this football team.
He had some thoughts about the shirt and more when we come back on Hanging with the Boys.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Star Sports Tours is the only official fan travel partner of the Dallas Cowboys, offering exclusive game weekend travel packages with pre-game sideline access and photo ops with current players, cheerleaders, and Cowboy legends. You want to stay at a team hotel, attend the best tailgate party in Texas, tour the Star, and talk X's and O's with me, Everson Walls? With Star Sports Tours, you can. Visit cowboystravel.com to book your travel package today.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the show. Each and every day, the second segment is brought to you by blockchain.com. Thank you, blockchain.com. And I'm going to give this guy a shout out because he's wearing me out in my DMs. And Bobby Carson from Charleston, South Carolina. How you doing? Now quit blowing me up, my friend.
Bobby, what's up, brother? What's up, Bobby? Bobby's a wild dude.
He's been asking me for 4 weeks.
Bobby's a wild girl. He's a wild dude, man.
You know
I don't know him, but he's blowing you up in the DMs for a shout out. Bobby's a crazy
He's
dude.
been killing me for 4 weeks, and I've been blowing him off. Finally, I was like, all right, man. He's like, you even gave the security guard shout out, and you wouldn't give me one.
Well, they let
So
him
there you
in.
go, Bobby.
They let you in. So
Yeah.
those are
anymore.
people. Yeah, not anymore. Gotta have your badge like me, always.
Kurt has to come get me now.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yep.
Does he talk too much on
I
the
actually,
show?
you know what? I actually threw you under the bus. I said, does
Damn.
everybody have to?
Why would you throw me
I
under
said,
the
I
bus?
said you and Isaiah. I said,
God,
does
why would you-
everybody have to check in at the desk and get escorted down now? Because I thought maybe it was just a me thing. And he was like, yeah, everybody. I said, what about Jesse and Isaiah? Oh, no, I asked specifically about them. They said they're fine. I'm like,
Again,
like Jesse was here for a cup of coffee, man. Come on.
Listen, my cup was larger than yours. Okay, my cup was a little bit larger than yours while I was here. I had, what do they call it at the place? The grande, the
Venti.
the venti,
Yeah.
grande venti. I had a venti one.
Yeah,
you had a shot of
mine
espresso.
was just a little 5'9".
Yeah, you had a
110 pound, size 7 1/4.
I'm just saying.
I want to give Jesse a shout because you went and talked to the kids yesterday.
I did.
Yeah, I saw that.
Where
Thank you,
at?
man.
appreciate that.
So I went and talked to the linebacker group at Lovejoy. They had a family night, and I went and talked to the.
Where's that at?
Lovejoy? It's up north. It's like in what is Lovejoy? Lovejoy is like in the Salina area, right? Salina.
I think so, up that way.
Yeah.
Allen,
Okay.
Whatever.
So we went to Urban Crust in Plano last night. Yeah, I got a chance to
What'd
talk
you
to him.
talk to him about?
I talked to him about two things. I talked to him about awards and rewards, and I talked to him about eliminating the places for the people who are not bought in to hide. Yeah. So understanding that.
Deep.
Just understanding. Understanding.
How old are these kids?
They're high schoolers.
Oh, thought you were gonna say second grade. Like,
No.
Just-
They're high schoolers. It was basically understanding that a quote that the great Roy Williams, the coach, taught me in college was that everyone will not get an award. But if we all do our part, we will all get the reward. And you have to be willing to do the part to get the reward. I wasn't never going to be the Bob Cousy Award winner. That was going to be Raymond Felton. Sean May was going to get the awards. But I'm a national champion for life. So I got the reward because I did my part. All right? And that's what you want to be able to do is saying, what is my job? What is my part to help us get the reward? We all ain't getting the awards. You know what I'm saying? But there's a part to play that we can all say at some point in time, I was a state champion. I was a national champion. I was a Super Bowl champion. I was a whatever champion. That's the reward in it. And then it was
That's the team
aspect of it. And then, one of the kids asked me, well, how do we get everybody to buy in? And I just basically told him that you have to eliminate the hiding places for those who aren't bought in. Example, if we're all on a team, right?
We are.
But let's just say you
Sometimes
decided
divided, but
we
we're
are.
on the same team.
Let's just say that he makes the 6 a.m. workout. He makes the 6 a.m. workout. I make the 6 a.m. workout. You don't make the 6 a.m. workout. But when we're done, you and I go and play Call of Duty. Well, I just created a space for you to go hide in because you think it's acceptable now because we all worked out. And at the end of the day, I didn't make you feel bad enough because we wouldn't play Call of Duty afterwards. So you got to eliminate the hiding places for those people who aren't bought into your program. So that was it.
That's a good message, Jesse.
Yeah.
2 good messages.
The one had to pay, one paid for it. One, I gave the lady Panthers. No, I didn't charge them either. Yeah. I'm giving away a lot of free gems out here.
Hey, we get free gems from you every day on the show.
That's my calling. So the Lord is going to bless me in return tenfold.
You're gonna get the reward.
I'm gonna get the reward.
Hopefully, whenever the time comes and your number's called, you get the award too. You get the key.
Come on.
The key to
Come on, somebody.
The promised land.
Come on, somebody. Preach now.
Come talk to my 7-year-old flag football team.
I'll come talk to them. I'll give them a riveting speech as well. Let's go.
There you go. All right.
I'll leave and I'll send you the invoice, Chris.
Someone else that had a good message this week when asked.
Take it out of your invoice.
When asked about Kittle wearing the anti-Dallas T-shirt, we all know what that means. He compared it with Cam Newton. This is from Michael Gelkin, a tweet from his page. He compared it to Cam Newton's celebrations. The only way to stop it is to keep him out of the end zone. We let him get in the end zone, and he chose for that to be his celebration. What do you think about that, fellas?
It's what a leader's supposed to say. It's what leaders say.
And he's right.
He's absolutely
You
right.
don't like it, stop it.
Period.
You don't stop it,
They have every
get
right
off
to.
me.
Period.
Yeah.
That is the correct answer to that.
Yeah.
If we don't like it, we don't let him in the end zone. He doesn't get in the end zone, can't celebrate that way. It's as simple. That's all had to be said.
Nate, are you falling asleep? Or you what is going on?
You know
over
what,
here?
my friends?
Yeah, what's that, my
Hello,
friend?
friends.
Hello, friends.
Y'all are so correct. Now, and I'm like, Jess, I ain't add nothing to this because, wow. I hope the Chargers don't have nothing written on his shirt because we may be so caught up in their shirt in trying to win this football game. I'm scared to death.
Okay, so speaking of the Chargers, when Kellen Moore was here, we criticized, won't say we, the media, a
Nate
lot of
Newton.
people, a lot
Yeah,
of
I think
people.
we-
Okay,
Nate
we
Newton.
criticized. Now that he's on the other side, does he scare you at all? They got weapons. We know that. Is he, the way he's using those weapons this year, does that scare you a little bit, or are you glad he's on the other side?
It's always hindsight's 20/20, right? It's like I have been pushing for the longest. Let's get Mike McCarthy a chance to call the plays.
Yep.
I always
Do
thought
you
that
miss Kellen Moore?
I don't. Here's my thing. My biggest issue with Kellen Moore was situational football.
Thank you.
That was the biggest thing for me.
Not creativity, but just
no, not creativity. It was situational football. It was understanding that, hey, now might be the time to put that 4-minute offense in. Not throw the ball.
Okay.
You know, like it was always the situation. It was like, what are we doing situationally to set these other things that we want to do up? That was always my biggest gripe against Kellen Moore, was his situational awareness on how he was calling plays and calling offense at times cost us football games, put his football team in bad situations. That was always the beef that I had with him as an offensive play caller, and it never seemed to get better as he got more experience. It actually started to seem like, oh, you get more YOLO and YOLO every year you get into this thing. You would think that some maturity would set in, some understanding would set in, but the more tenure he began to have, the more YOLO he would get in situational football opportunities. That was my only gripe against Kellen Moore.
Have we gone
too
far the other way?
No, I'm sorry. Go on. I'm sorry.
Well, just situational. Now it's McCarthy. It seems like he's all about situational. Are we losing some of that creativity? Are we gone from one end to the other and need a little bit more balance?
Balance. I think we've gone from one extreme to the other, and now we have to find a sweet spot.
All right, Nate, we're going against a would you put him, Herbert, great quarterback, really solid?
Let me, that was going to be, I thought when we was going to break down their offense, all I was going to talk about was him.
We'll talk, because it's that time. 7 touchdowns, 1 interception. How do you stop him?
This dude is 6'6", 236 pounds.
And beautiful hair. Beautiful flowing locks he has.
He can throw that rock. He can throw that rock. I don't know if it was him, his offensive coordinator, the way they scheme, or both. But this kid here, just like this roster, has not come nowhere near what their potential says. They got 2 nice running backs. They got nice wide receivers. They got a big tight end in Everett. They have a offense that can challenge our defense. They got a nice left tackle. If they play up to where they can, what their potential, Jess, you'll do a better job, because Herbert is it. Now, can they keep him standing up? Can we get a lead? Because that's the only way. 9 points is what we need. We need a 9-point lead. Anything less, we in trouble. We can't handle adversity. We in trouble. Okay? Jesse may see it different, but I'm saying if we can get a 9-point lead, we gonna have Mr. Herbert running. But if they even are leading us, this kid can have a super day.
Yeah. When you see
you
him,
juicy mouthed it over there today.
Yeah, man. Think about this kid.
You juicy mouthed it over there today, baby. Golly, you are juicy mouthed, man.
I like this kid.
This is
I almost had your moment.
Whoa.
Yesterday, when
you drive by the trailer park?
No. I'm talking about. I thought this morning, when I got, I'm like, I'm out.
Oh, you bubble gut?
You almost thought you had a.
I had it last night.
I'm like,
you had it last night?
I'm like, Jesse, boy, I hope you spread
that around.
Yeah, don't be spreading that around.
I don't trust me, guys. I don't want.
But anyway, Herbert, lock this dude up as quick as you can. Lock him up. That's just what I believe.
One thing about him, if you haven't seen him in person physically, he's a big dude. 6, like he's. When you
He's
think,
a real 6'6".
Yes, real 6'6". When you think like a prototypical throwing quarterback, he's tall, he's rangy, he's linked. He's got length on his arms.
When you hear the term, it's a scouting term. You hear it a lot. When he says the ball jumps off his hand, jumped out of his hand,
man.
like.
Comes out quick.
Pops. Like it just when it leaves his hand, it leaves with the level of.
As a receiver, do you like?
Yes.
Do you like someone like a Brett Favre that throws the ball?
No.
Slings it.
No.
But you like somebody that has. You want the ball to get there, right?
I want the ball to get there.
You don't want
touch.
to break your fingers when it gets there, right?
Brett would throw a 100-mile-an-hour slant. Nobody wants that. No receiver wants a 100-mile-an-hour slant.
We wanted to get there, but not like that.
Nah. Now throw me when I'm settling in that cover 2 and that whole shot, fire it in there. When I'm coming across on that bang 8, fire it in there. The slant, whoa, buddy. Like I'm literally 5 yards away from you. Don't throw it with that much velocity. There are certain throws that you know that have to come with a level of pop.
Who threw the best ball that you
Carson Palmer.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Why?
What was it that you liked?
He was. I believe Carson was lefty. Is he lefty? I think Carson was lefty.
No, he was righty.
He's righty.
He's righty.
But Carson had that where it had the touch. He had a level of touch to it, and he would throw the ball, and you can kind of see it. It would sail to you. It was like it was catching itself. It was almost, if you didn't catch it, it was bad because he would put it right there. Like Carson had the best delivery.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Who
Yeah.
had the worst?
The worst?
Yeah.
Steve McGee.
Really?
Steve
Fourth rounder out of A&M.
Steve McGee was Brett Favre.
Oh, he just sling it?
He just threw it as hard as he possibly could. You like, brother, I am standing 4 yards away from you. It ain't even 60 feet 6 inches. Like, I am 4 yards away. Why are you throwing the ball with all your might at my head? Like, Steve McGee was. I'm sorry, I'm taking shots at Steve McGee. He's probably somewhere on the oil
That's not a
field.
shot.
This
That's
is a total shot. Steve McGee would.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a total shot. I'm sorry, Steve, if you're watching. Love you.
I doubt he's watching.
Maybe. You never know.
I wonder what he's doing these days. That's one of the. Is that the second, third quarterback that they've drafted?
Who would be the other two?
Dak.
Oh.
And then, is there another one since him?
Did they draft Rudy Carpenter or was he an undrafted free agent?
Quincy Carter was a draft pick.
Yeah, but that was before Stephen McGee.
Yeah, Steve came in the
They just
Romo
let you
era.
know how few quarterbacks they draft around here. Okay. Well, he looks that up. Justin Herbert. How you stop him?
You got to get pressure on him. You got to
You
get
can't
pressure.
do what
on
you
him.
did last week.
No.
Because I still think if you would have got pressure early and often on Brock Purdy, you would have had a shot.
You got to get pressure on Herbert. When you go back and you watch games like against the Raiders, where Max Crosby was creating and wrecking havoc in the backfield, and we have a Max Crosby player? Yes. Here's where the conundrum comes into play. With the injuries that we have at the linebacker position,
How much is he gonna be rushing?
how much is Mike going to be rushing, right? And let me say this for the defensive side of things: if Mike is playing primarily linebacker, between what they want to do with Austin Ekeler and Micah not being a rush in anymore, and him now having to understand to play in a different type of space,
Might get run over a little bit.
it might look a little different. Because it's different when you have to play in a box of reading the guys in front of me and then reacting, opposed to just being on the line of scrimmage and using your speed to go forward. So he has to now, like before Micah comes down here, there has to be kind of all right, what am I actually seeing? And then maybe moving laterally a step or two and then coming downhill. To opposed to just coming downhill from the defensive end
So
spot.
there's a little bit of hesitation.
There's a read. There's that read. You see linebacker do that kind of that read hop. That hop. Okay, am I seeing what I'm seeing? And then I attack it. But to answer your question, the I think the only way that you really get him to revert back to that bad Justin Herbert, you got to get pressure on him. You got to get pressure on him because this is, and the thing about getting pressure on him is he's 6'5", 6 foot. He's as big as the guys who are trying to get pressure on him. This 240-pound, 50-pound guys, and he's a tough dude to bring down. Like you've watched games where you look like he's in the grasp of people and he bounces out, spins out, and he has the arm where you've heard the term where it can make every throw. He can make every throw from any angle at any point in time on the field. So if you don't get him when you're supposed to get him, and now he has a guy down the field, even though he's rolling out to his right, fading back, he has the arm strength and the power to deliver the ball down the football field for completion. But to pressure him, I should say pressure him and to get him with the pressure that you send must be a thing that's high on the docket list for the Cowboys defensively.
And there's a really big guy that's out there on the left side that's going to try to prevent them from doing that. And we will let our really big guy to my left side talk about him and other things.
Your draft question?
Yeah.
Mike White in 2018, fifth rounder. And in 2020, the great Ben DiNucci.
Oh,
that's
how
right.
could we forget Mike White and Ben DiNucci?
Yes.
But before that, it was Dak and Steven.
And Steven.
What year was Steven?
He was 2009, and then before that, it was, like Chris said, Quincy Carter.
So 2009 until present day, there have been 3 quarterbacks drafted by the Dallas Cowboys.
The highest in the 4th round. Dak.
Wow. All right.
There you go.
Good stuff, Kurt. Thanks for looking that up. We'll be right back for the last segment of Hanging with the Boys.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy, classic wings. Made to order, cooked to perfection. And sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. And, of course, spicy Cajun fried corn. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at wingstop.com.
SeatGeek has your back no matter what kind of Cowboys fan you are. So whether you're a diehard fan or a don't really care fan, a we got 'em next time fan or we'll never win again fan, a here for the tailgate fan or a first one through the gates fan, SeatGeek not only makes buying and selling tickets easier than ever before, they made just about everything else easier too. So whether you're a here every week fan or haven't been here in years fan, SeatGeek has you covered. Download the SeatGeek app today. SeatGeek, your ticket to great Dallas Cowboys seats.
James Wright here, your 2022 Dallas Cowboys Fan of the Year. You know how much I love my Cowboys, and I am thrilled to be talking to you about the 2023 Fan of the Year award presented by Captain Morgan. We're looking for the ultimate Cowboys fan to spice up the game. That means you eat, sleep, and breathe the Dallas Cowboys. If that's you, or if you know someone like me, then go to DallasCowboys.com/fan of the year, and you could win tickets to Super Bowl 58 and so much more. Enter today.
Back to Hanging with the Boys.
Welcome back to the last segment of Hanging with the Boys.
What's the day? Thursday?
Yeah.
It's Thursday. Guess what tomorrow is?
Friday.
The 13th.
Is it?
In October.
I'm definitely sliding through the TPs tomorrow.
Are you?
Oh.
TPs. Like
Oof.
that. Last segment was brought to you each and every day by Jigsaw, the official dating partner of the Dallas Cowboys.
You don't need Jigsaw when you got the
you know what tomorrow
TPs.
is?
What's tomorrow?
Tomorrow's the big guy's birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
You know whose birthday it is today?
Who's the big guy?
Mr. Jones?
Mr. Jones.
Oh.
How old will Mr. Jones be tomorrow?
84. I don't know. You got to be 80
I
something,
think he's
right?
82, maybe? You know whose birthday it is
83,
today, Nate?
Your sons?
Leon Lett.
Oh.
Big cat.
Big cat.
Hey, Leon.
We did make some moves
Leon.
within the last hour.
Okay.
Just,
Let's hear
Peyton,
about it.
Did we eat some
Peyton
corn?
Hendershot,
Oh.
Yeah. Peyton Hendershot to injured reserve. Sean McEwen signed from the practice squad. Signed Rashawn Evans, the linebacker,
Okay.
to the practice squad. And Sean Wright is designated for return from the IR.
And
And Kavontae Turpin may be making a return.
Really?
Like this may
This
not.
soon?
This yeah. He may have got the Wolverine antimonium.
wow. Yeah, the
I don't-
self-healing
Yeah.
serum.
They went to Mr. Miyagi.
But LVE's on IR, now,
IR.
right? They moved
Yeah.
him to IR yesterday. Is that right, Kurt?
Yeah, I believe so. I don't. Yeah.
And before we get back into football, the Cowboy world lost a Cowboy legend yesterday.
Haven't officially moved him. Anyway, sorry. Yes.
I thought you were about to say he haven't officially died. I was like,
No.
I was like, oh, hold on now.
Kurt, you want to take us down memory lane a little bit?
Harken back.
Yeah, Walt Garrison, the great Walt Garrison, passed away overnight, I believe. True cowboy, if there ever was one. He competed in the rodeo, steer wrestling. Original signing bonus. He had a horse trader as part of the deal. But kind of underrated. He's still 4th all time in team history for yards per carry and 9th in career rushing. So,
didn't I hear a story about him? Was that him or was it Bob Lilly that part of their signing bonus was he wanted a horse trailer?
that was him. Thanks for listening.
That's literally what he just said.
Oh, sorry.
He put an Uncle Nate.
Jesus Christ.
Well, I got it.
Uncle Nate.
That's literally what he just said.
Look, whenever I'm on the show and the boss sends me a text from upstairs on this show, I immediately read it because I don't know what's going on. So that's what I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So I tuned
Was that
out.
a good?
It's also he was just letting us know that Jerry shares a birthday with Brother Will upstairs.
Oh, bro,
His
Will.
birthday's
Okay.
tomorrow as well.
Nice.
Sorry about that, Kurt. So
No, that's fine. Garrison, he was also
boss
maybe
is
the
listening.
funniest
Hi.
guy
Yeah, be
to play
careful.
for us. Yeah.
Hi, boss.
So
good.
Yeah, sorry. He'd been in declining health for quite a while, so not unexpected, but still, thoughts to the family. There.
Thoughts to the family. All right, Nate. So there's a big guy in L.A. One of the better guys, better left side of the line guys in Rashawn Slater.
What he probably about 4th or 5th to the guy we just played, or he probably 2nd or 3rd, just because I'm gonna tell you the same thing I've told you last week. Please don't go over there and put number 11 on top of this kid.
Move him around.
Yeah, move him around. Don't put him on top of this kid. This kid can block. This kid is real. Don't waste a rep on this dude, man. You know, put you a good run defender on top of him. And we'll rush the pass when we rush the pass, but put you a good run defender on him and do your thing. He's a rare find. What is his 2nd or 3rd year? This dude can ball.
Yeah, his biggest attribute I think for him is his athleticism. Like when you look at Rashawn Slater,
really good feet.
Yeah, he is athletic, and so where he lacks at times in blocking or not bringing proper technique, he makes up for it with his athleticism. Because you think you beat him initially, and then his good feet and athleticism gets him back in the play, and he makes you ride the hump even more, or he pushes you through, or he's able to recover and get something on you that allows a quarterback to get the ball off. But, offensively, when you look at this Chargers offense, of course, if you want to watch what it looks like to get off the ball, and have good line of scrimmage releases, fixate your eyes on number 13, Keenan Allen, this week.
Ooh. I was going to ask about the receivers. They're really
Keenan,
and they're big too, right?
Keenan is the smallest of the group, probably the least physical of the group, but hands down, he is the most technically sound of the group.
He's the smallest of the group, and he's 6'2", 211.
Yeah. And Keenan doesn't have great speed. Where Keenan makes his money at is where most receivers, the good ones, make their money at. He kills you at the beginning of the route, the line of scrimmage, and he works you at the top of the route. And he has these subtle movements in between. Everything looks the same, but not the same. He makes you believe that you're going to do something else, and then boom, he's out of it. He's a good, really good catcher. Like wherever the ball is at, he's going to catch the football. But he's one of the guys that I like to watch when it comes to releasing. He can release with the best of them. So Gilly and Deron Bland and whoever
when
else.
When you say release, what exactly is that? Like, what is a release? Is it just getting off?
Getting off
and getting away from the guy?
Getting a competitive advantage from the guy that's defending me from the line of scrimmage.
So that first moment of separation.
It doesn't have to be the separate. Yeah, I want to lose him, but I want to be able to get by him and stack him in such a way that I now control what happens in this route. Sometimes you'll have guys that get pushed to the sideline. Now you can't get back across his face, or he jams you up, throws the timing off between you and the quarterback, in the route progression. That's what happened with some of the Cowboys routes. You wonder why they can't get the ball, because when they come to the progression, you still fooling around with this cornerback and the ball's supposed to be out. But that's a whole other story for a whole other day. But Keenan Allen wins the line of scrimmage.
Winning and then controlling the route.
Okay. And then now he's able to dictate how this thing is going to be broken down. And when you do that, you stay ahead of the timing of it all. You stay on pace with the timing of how things want to break down. And then
unlike corn.
And
corn does not break down
at all. And then I think one of the things that's going to be key, and this ties into how the Cowboys, Kurt, you just mentioned, the Cowboys shine Rashawn Slater. Rashawn Evans. Rashawn Slater belongs to the Chargers. Rashaan Evans. I don't know how he's going to play into what they're going to do this weekend. And what happens when you have a string of injuries is you now have to start moving guys all over the place. And the one thing that I've said, you got a smirk on your face. What?
Tell you off the air.
And one thing that is going to worry me is Austin Ekeler is one of these running backs that can do everything. He can run in between the tackles, can run outside the tackles. They don't throw a lot of screens, but I told you guys we're probably the only team that doesn't steal from other teams. They're probably going to watch the game last week and go,
this worked.
We might throw a couple screens, guys. And Austin Ekeler's a guy who has really good vision, really good contact balance. His biggest knock is he's always been hurt. But he's strong, he's compact, he has good hands, had good vision, can get in and out the holes, bounce from a hole, get back, set his blocks up. That's going to be the one that worries me because now I'm looking at stop. Let me get this. Let me finish this.
No, what you said. Yeah, I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
I heard it too.
But Austin, see, you can never be serious. You never. That's Friday. We'll get freaky on the TPs on Friday. I might bring Jerry with me for happy birthday.
Don't get
you know what I'm
trouble,
saying?
Jesse.
No,
Boss is listening.
I know. But Austin Ekeler, what the musical chairs that's going to happen on defense. Where's Micah going to play? How are they going to use Damone Clark? Are they going to put more safeties in the box? Like how I don't know how that's going to play out, right? How you will deploy Sam Williams or Tank Lawrence? However that's going to work itself out in the grand scheme of what Dan Quinn wants to do. That's going to play a major factor on how Austin Ekeler is effective. Because I just think if you have to play Micah Parsons at linebacker, I just think he's so used to being just a rush in. Being a step slow or a step off from a guy like Austin Ekeler could leave you in a situation where you're now chasing this guy, and that could be a bad thing for the Cowboys because if they get the running game going and now you're using play action and you know Kellen Moore is going to be a guy who takes I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think Justin Herbert is like number one with plus 40-yard plays down the football field. So that comes off the play action pass for what they want to do, as you know, with Kellen Moore. So stop the run first. I don't know how they're going to do it. If you can do that, you make it one-dimensional and you give yourself a better situation.
Tomorrow, phone calls, 888-855-2297. Friday the 13th. Ooh. Jesse's trolling the trailer parks tomorrow.
Me and Jerry.
I might go with you.
You're going to be in and out of breaks. You know what I'm saying?
I'm find a hole and get in and out of it, baby.
Breaks. All right, Kurt, good seeing you.
Me, bro, Will, and Jerry.
Chris, you might want to cut our mics off because Nate's about to talk about something that probably shouldn't go out over the airs. Jasmine, thanks for keeping Chris company.
Jay, what's up, Jay?
See y'all tomorrow. Hanging with the boys.
Bro, Will, what's up?
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys?